Welcome to Silverstone, the showdown for Glenn, and a chance for Tom to capitalise on previous success. We're going beyond the blade, and this is episode 5. So before we can get stuck into the showdown action here at Silverstone, we're going to take a quick recap back at Snetterton. You already know the results. Glenn took pole and was leading the race. The crash that he had from the front, both he and the bike never really recovered from for the rest of the weekend. Tom absolutely smoked it. Let's take a look.
We've been in a really good place, obviously, the last couple of weekends, taking wins and pole positions and breaking a few lap records, and the championship's been building really nicely. After Cadwell, we're over the halfway point. The championship's really tight at the top, but there was only 5 points in it coming into this round, and I won here last year, so I did actually feel a bit of pressure, really, and putting it on pole, you're almost then expected to win, aren't you? I was talking to my uncle in the back of the truck while I was getting ready to go out, and he said, just remember why you love riding motorbikes and the fun you have on it and why you do it. And I remember just tipping into turn 1 and thinking, this is what I live for, like, this is mega. We had a comfortable lead, hit me apex, and I really enjoyed that race.
The Pirelli National Superstock Championship, 12 laps ahead of them.
There's a lot of people here this weekend, team sponsors, personal sponsors. So yeah, to deliver that win in that style as well, nice commanding race from start to finish pretty much, another lap record. It's like a dream come true. That's probably the most enjoyable win I've had all year, because normally your pit board increases by 1/10 a lap, and it went up 1 lap from 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 3.7 seconds, and yeah, we extended the championship lead even more, so yeah, couldn't have asked for a better weekend.
Third race in succession for the race winner. That goes the way of Tom Neave. Oh, Tom.
So Glenn, I suppose this is a bit of a make or break round as far as the showdown's concerned.
Yeah, I suppose it's all coming to a head now, but it is the work of eight rounds and all the pre-season and sort of some of the work that we done last year, you know, in terms of developing the new Honda Fireblade. So yeah, this is a weekend where it's important for me and the team to be strong. We're in the showdown as it stands. We've had a good day one. I'm quite content with today, but we have a lot of work ahead, and of course that's our first target of the season, is to make the showdown, and you know, then we reassess after.
So all being well, if you come out of this weekend how you've gone into it, you'll be in 7th position in the championship, you're in the showdown.
Lucky number 7 and all that, isn't it? So yeah, honestly I would like to try to go up to 6th. I'd love to score some podium credits. The bike is good at Silverstone. We've had a really productive day, as I've said, and you know, I'm looking at the likes of Buchan, 13 points ahead of me, and you know, we know what Josh Brooks is capable of and what he can do, and Lee Jackson and Bradley Ray, and you know, I want to look to overhaul Danny, because I expect them guys to be strong and to add a lot of points this weekend, so you don't want to be the one. So
target on his back, but one on yours as
well?
Yeah,
you know, I think it's more important. I'm aware that we know anyone from beneath 8th is wanting to come in, of course, but I'm aware that 6th is catchable, and that's something that could be vital this weekend.
I'm also interested in what COVID has done with regards to compressing all these rounds and some of the injuries that you've carried from one round into the next.
Yeah, the season's busy, and it has been a difficult season. It's been one with enjoyment, speed, flashes of potential of myself and the
leading
bike.
races, setting pole position.
Yeah, there's been lots to be happy about. Setting poles flat out now. Feel like I'm as quick as anyone. When it comes to dragging your motorbike around for a lap.
Ready to win races?
It has been a difficult start. When we look back to round 1-2, we were trying some electronic changes that you have to try. You have to try, or else you don't go forward. But for me, they weren't working, so I felt we were perhaps a little bit restricted. I had a dislocated shoulder. It's still a COVID compressed championship, so time to recover. It doesn't really exist because you race every other weekend. And then we had the round that we had at Snetterton, which was our worst round of the season at one of our strongest tracks. So it hasn't been easy, but I think it's testament to myself and to the team at Honda that we are still in the showdown. And we're going in with a really, really good chance of achieving that. So yeah, it's not bad. A lot of other people I think could roll over with a bit of a season like we've had, but we're still strong.
In the year 2000, a kid called Casey Stoner lived outside Mallory Park in a setup not too dissimilar to what you can see behind me. His parents sold everything they had in Australia and put all their eggs in one racing basket. The point that I'm trying to make is no matter how good a racer you eventually become, nobody starts in the Premier Class. In this episode, we're taking a closer look at the Honda-backed British Talent Cup, a series that forms part of Dorna's Road to MotoGP programme. So Stuart Higgs is the series director for BSB, the all-seeing eye who's in charge of everything on and off track, Stuart. I think my first question is how you see the Honda British Talent Cup adding value for race fans.
Well, I mean, quite simply, it's one of the most overdue championships we've ever had. We were always being criticised that we're falling behind the curve in terms of getting British riders into a World Championship arena and getting them just noticed by the influential people that make up the MotoGP paddock. Back in 2017, Dorna announced the British Talent Cup, and we were very keen to become involved as the custodians of the British Championship and how we could work together. Britain has a very established racing community. At the end of 2019, we agreed with Dorna to modify the championship to make it a self-organised championship in terms of the teams and riders, that they would basically all just use the Honda NSF 250, which is the staple diet for the Talent Cups around the world. The teams would run to a prescribed set of regulations, the same as the European Talent Cup, and that overnight transformed it. I'm confident it's going to be looked back on as probably one of the most significant turning points in British racing.
So you might be wondering why we're stood with multiple British Superbike champion, Shaky Shane Byrne. You signed Casey to the sports management company that you and Matt Roberts run. It's a logical question. What was it that you spotted in Casey, and why have you signed him?
Do you know what the funny story is? My son is actually a little bit younger than Casey, and he watched Casey in mini bikes for many, many years. And as you know, Casey's won multiple British Championships on mini bikes, and I used to listen to my son going, and it's Casey O'Gorman taking the win, pretending he was commentating, right? So I thought, Casey O'Gorman, Casey O'Gorman. I went to a BSB round and Casey was riding the British Talent Cup. So I said to my son, I said, you know what? That kid you keep talking about, Casey O'Gorman, he's now riding the British Talent Cup at BSB. And I started watching him, and the more you watched him, the more you saw how naturally talented he was. And you know, he got to the end of last year, had some wins and stuff, first time out on big bikes, if you like, and clearly he's a very, very talented young man, and we were looking for a young talented man, and yeah, we got it done. Yeah.
So you guys are working together with some coaching as well, some on-track and off-track coaching. And what is it that you guys have been working on this weekend? I think you showed me yesterday a picture of the racing tuck that you've been working on.
Yeah, Shaky's been getting me to do a lot about my tuck the last few rounds, because since last year I've got a lot bigger, and last year I didn't really have to work as hard as my tuck, but as I've grown I've had to work harder, and Shaky's been helping me with it.
So where's this going to take you? Where do you hope this all leads to?
I'm hoping to go to MotoGP.
And just one last question. Are you called Casey after Casey Stoner?
yeah.
He would have been called shaky, but I weren't fast enough.
So you got Casey O'Gorman running the 67. Clearly he's signed to Shaky Shane Byrne. He's running the 67. Evan Belfort, who we spent some time with, he ran us through the tech details on his bike. He's running the number 52. He's not managed by Tosland or Danny Kent. He just met Danny Kent at an airport in Barcelona once. That'll do.
Hi, my name's Evan Belford. I'm 14 years old and I'm currently leading the British Talent Cup. I've been racing since I was about 3 years old. And I currently moved here when I was about 13, and I'm going to show you around my Honda NSF 250R. All the bikes in this series are identical. There's the small changes that we can make to the suspension, the gearing and the ECU. The bikes make between 41 and 45 horsepower, depending on how fresh the motor is and what your fueling setup is. The drive bike weight is 84 kilos and the minimum bike and rider weight is 148 kilos. I'm 53 kilos in my levers, so we have to add weight to make the minimum weight for the bike and rider in the race. At Thruxton, where we run long gearing, the bike was measured at 139 miles per hour. My PB around the Silverstone National Circuit is a 101. For reference, Glenn Irwin did a low 53.
So, small faces today that could be the big names of racing tomorrow. I've really enjoyed following the British Talent Cup this weekend. I'm definitely going to follow this series some more. You should too. It's brilliant racing. Harp, as ever, I'm fascinated by the insights that you're able to give us, the viewers, on how the weekend went from the team's perspective. I'm going to say highlight of the weekend for me was Rio's lap on Saturday, a 53.4. It's the first time I've seen him looking super confident.
Yeah, however you look at it, John, you know, the weekend's had its ups and downs. Yeah. And you're right, Rio is slowly nibbled away race by race. When you look at his lap times, you look at his sectors, and you look how consistent he is, he's slowly chipping away, which you see the signs there of somebody that has potential.
So this weekend is very happy and good weekend. First time Q2 race 1 best result. Race 3 is my best run. So very fun. Yeah.
So Tom, the only thing that's impressed me more, other than what you've been doing out on track over the last couple of rounds, is your sudden ability to do a piece to camera in one take without making any mistakes.
Here we go. Love a bit of pressure.
Talk to me about Silverstone. How's it gone, mate?
It's been one of them weekends, really. We've had such a good streak the last 3-4 rounds, so you automatically put pressure on yourself to continue that form. And I've got that used to winning, that anything other than a win just doesn't feel nice. So I was really disappointed in qualifying, completely mucked that up, qualifying down to 16th. Sort of made up for it in race 1, finished 5th, set the fastest lap of the race.
That pace, for that amount of time,
was
brilliant, wasn't it?
I had to come through the field, and I think, looking back at the lap chart, I was 3 seconds down on lap 2 from the leaders, and we got to finish within a second of the race win. So I was pretty happy with that, but I knew I needed to find a little bit extra for race 2 today, starting from pole. I knew it would be really hot, and it was. Like, again, comparing the lap chart, the race winning pace from yesterday compared to today was 6 seconds faster overall. So like, there were much more consistent fast laps.
National Superstock 1000 and the race 2 of the weekend for these guys.
I struggled on the used tyre right at the end. When the tyre's gripping and it's working good in the early laps, I feel I can more or less command whatever lines I want and do what I need to do. But then in them last few laps, it was just spinning and I couldn't really get the power down. I just tried to lead as many laps as I could and hope that Alex would make a mistake behind, and he didn't. So fair play to him. It's kept me honest all weekend, and it's certainly tight at the top in the championship, and we've actually only lost 2 points, which is amazing, really.
Second position, the 640 of the season for Honda racing on the Fireblade. That is Tom Neave. 68, Tom Neave, and number 89.
You know, race 1 yesterday, we were there in 3rd place, and Glenn taking the win has definitely helped us in that showdown challenge. You know,
heart in the bottom of your stomach at some point, because you just thought, hang on a minute, we could really bomb out here. This could really go the wrong way so quickly, as we saw in race 1 from yesterday from the front two at the sharp end.
The first target I think of a top rider, you know, I classify myself as one of the top riders in the championship, and I ride for a top team, you know, one of the best in the paddock. And you know, that job description list, I think the first part of it is showdown, and then it's nice when you negotiate for next year, you know, they can't beat you down too much. I'm grateful for everyone of this Honda racing team. We give up a lot of time to do this job. It's a dream, but we go into 3 rounds that I'm looking forward to. Donington Park is one we've showed a lot of format, so let's go and get stuck in. You know, now the championship's tightened up. Jason's not in a different land now, but I think the gap to third is realistic, and we're fighting for possibly some silverware in the final standings.